Hello, this is a practice test to see how things are running with Google Plus. Hangout, this is a practice test. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, everybody, here's a brief marketing plan that I've come up with. And it's something that I wanted to talk to you all about in reference to building, in reference to building your own strategy. So let's get started, and you should be able to see my screen. And I'm going to go ahead and play this. And this is called Marketing Branding Strategy. So we're going to go ahead and get started with this, talking about marketing and branding. So what are the obstacles when it comes to marketing? Well, there's many of them. There's faulty and outdated information. There's no real blueprint on how to approach partners. There's small businesses who don't have the resources to get prime and subcontracts. And really the whole process is frustrating and a bit convoluted. It's also a very long and arduous process. There's a steep learning curve. The language is very complicated, and it can take 6 months to 3 years before you can land a contract. This is a long time to wait, to wait without getting paid. And so we keep hearing all these big secrets and all these big things about big money and government contracting. But how does a little guy get a piece of this billion-dollar pie? So I've come up with a brilliant marketing plan, a plan that allows you to access over $50,000 of small business leads, a plan that can put you in front of people who make things happen, a plan that will allow you to get paid instantly without waiting 3 years. Most importantly, it's a plan that will not break your pockets. So are you ready to get started? Are you ready to become an influence in your niche? Are you ready to stop chasing after leads and begging for customers? Are you ready to stop the feast and famine cycles? So this is the time that I ask you to take some me time. Please give me your full attention. Close your email browser, allow your spouse to watch your kids, silence your cell phones, and turn off your television. And give me just 45 minutes of your precious time. And so we're going to go through this, and it's going to be a brief 5-step action plan. And number 1 is you're going to find qualified leads in SBA's database. You're going to work to turn those leads into prospects. You're going to turn prospects into paying customers. You're going to work to become an influencer in your field, and you're going to build a responsive network. So these are the 5 steps that you need in order to start winning government contracts. So step 1, finding leads. So remember when you first got started and you actually entered all your information into SAM system, the System Award Management System, and you had to get the DUNS number and you had to get all your information implemented in that system? Well, many of you may not know, but the SAM system is a gold mine when it comes to leads. It's just all the matter of us learning how to search those leads, learning how to mine those leads to find prospects. And so we have access to a great amount of leads, $50,000 businesses all across the country and maybe in the world are actually registered in SAM. However, we have to be tactful and have a great strategy because we don't want to get into the bad habit of spamming people. Spam is a big no-no online, and we don't want to become known as spammers because it can really ruin our reputations as business owners and marketers. And so here's a dynamic small business search, and I'm going to have this I'm going to have this WordPress this PPT PowerPoint presentation available for download afterwards. And so you can go here to this actual website and you can begin to do a search, and you can get a great deal of information. Here you can find all kinds of leads. You can narrow your search down by location. You can go ahead and you can click on Texas. And then the congressional district, you can type in Houston, Texas as a congressional district. San Antonio. You can also type in Bendito, San Antonio, Austin. So you can type in a great deal of congressional districts. And then you can search by certifications. Now, these are not self-certifications. These are people who are actually going through the paperwork and the rigorous process of becoming certified. And this is more or less for businesses This is more or less a search feature for local and federal governments that want to look for small businesses in their area. You know, if they want to write a contract, they want to make sure there's enough demand for it to satisfy that contract. Then there's self-certifications. And of course, you can self-certify as a disabled veteran, as a woman-owned veteran, as an economically disabled woman, so on and so forth. So you can also search for that as well. And then, of course, the nature of business. Here's a place where you really want to be careful and pay special attention to NAICS codes. And you want to know your NAICS codes, and you want to know who your people are. You know, I can't stress that more. I can't stress it enough. If you want to do subcontracting, you have to know who is winning contracts in your niche or within your NAICS codes. And there are several ways to do that. I'm not going to go over it here in this group will hangout because it extends beyond this lesson. I don't want to overwhelm you, but you want to know what your NAICS code are. You want to know who is winning contracts. You want to know who's making money, so on and so to speak. So that way you can partner with them. When it comes down to marketing, the more information you have about your leads, the better. Okay. And so we can go here and we can again begin to narrow our search more closely. And so as far as employees are concerned, we can go after the companies that have a lot of employees, you know, 30 or more, or we can go after the companies that make at least $100,000 a year. So you know these companies are actually in the system and they're operating. You know, a lot of people have the intentions of wanting to work for the federal government, local government, but unfortunately things happen. And they're no longer in business. So you want to make sure that the leads that you're actually targeting are people who are still in existence today. Here's one thing that's also very important is capabilities. If you're selling products, lower end products that are less than $3,000, you can actually target businesses that accept credit cards. Or accept government credit cards or GSA Advantage and so on and so forth. So that's another way to narrow down your search. And then you can search by profile. You can actually search for DUNS numbers. So if you come across your competitor's website, or you come across someone you want to work with and you see their DUNS number, or if you download the capability statement and you have your DUNS number, you can actually type it into the DSBS system and their information will come up. And of course, you can search by profile status. Again, there's active, there's expired, there's not fully registered. There's all kinds of statuses. And of course, you want to make sure that you only search for the people with an active status. All right, so you know you can download or you can display up to 5,000. The best thing to do is to download display close to 25 per page. And here you can see that you can actually edit this description field. It says here name and trade of firm, contact address and city, state, zip, capabilities, and so on and so forth. You can actually go and edit that to actually add information. Then, of course, you can decide what size, tiny, small, normal, large, extra large. I just like the normal because it's difficult to see it on the page. And then you have the table format, which I like to do. And if you're really aggressive and really ambitious, you can actually do the mail merge feature. And that allows you to download the information via CSV file. And then once you have that file, you can go ahead and you can upload it onto mail servers such as MailChimp, Aweber, and Amazon's service called Sendie. Now, you want to be very careful about mass emails, especially to leads that are quote-unquote cold leads. Be very careful with that because you're going to get judged based on your open rate. You're going to get judged based on who flags you as spam. So if you start mass marketing to a cold email list, what you're going to do is you're going to give the email servers such as Yahoo, Google, so on and so forth, you're going to set up a red flag, and automatically they're going to flag you as being a spammer. And so what then happens is that all the information that you send from that point forward will go into spam folders or go into your people's spam folders. And you don't want that to happen. The whole thing is that we have to constantly fight to get visibility. And you don't want to ruin it by becoming a spammer. It's the worst thing in the world. Once you get sandboxed by these huge companies, it's hard to get out of the sandbox. Trust me, I know. I've tried everything in the book, and I can tell you when it comes to email marketing or marketing in general, there really aren't a lot of shortcuts. There's not a lot of shortcuts. Okay, so let's do something here. This is the database that I actually downloaded. Now, this information is all public information. I didn't want to display people's addresses and contact information, only because there are spammers out there. I didn't want anybody to go and get access to this information and start spamming people. So I did cover up this database. However, you can see that this database is incredibly inclusive. You know, there's name and trade name, there's the contact information, there's address, city, state, capabilities, narrative, and email address, and also their DUNS number. So you get a great deal of information in really a short period of time. And the DSPS system allows you to download, I believe, up to 5,000 leads. So you get a great deal of information of people working in your area and people who may very well be willing to work with you for free. You know, you don't have to pay for any of this. I mean, which is awesome. So this is a really, really good, good tool to use. Okay, so now we're going to get back into the screen sharing, and there's a couple of things that I want to go over with you as far as working with the DSPS system. So let's work on that right now.